Hello students. So today's topic is related to leaf spring. Leaf springs are also used in automobile industries. Nowadays it is mainly seen in trucks, then tractors and trailers. If we see the history, leaf spring was invented by Obadiah Elliot of London in 18th century. He simply piled one steel plate on top of another, and these steel plates he pinned them together and shackled each end to carriage. It was the first ever leaf spring used on a vehicle. If we see this diagram, this portion is called as eye. This is one eye and this is one eye. Then this type of plates are arranged like this. Here, all these plates are connected with the help of this center bolt. And for keeping these plates together, this rebound clip is attached as shown in figure. It is originally called as a laminated or carriage springs and sometimes referred to as semi-elliptical springs or cart springs. As the shape of this plate is elliptical shape, and this is not a complete ellipse, but this is half of that, or this is part of that ellipse. So it is called as semi-elliptical spring. If we see the principle of leaf spring, a leaf spring is a simple type of suspension spring which is commonly used in heavy-duty vehicles. This leaf spring is attached to the chassis frame. The front frame mounting point. This is the front frame mounting point. Then this is the rear frame mount points. Both these mounting are attached to the frame. And on this mounting point, this leaf spring is connected with the help of this shackle. If we observe here, this leaf spring is attached to the axle with the help of these U-shaped bolts. This is called as axle. If we see the application of leaf spring for the suspension of vehicles, this is the actual diagrams of the leaf springs. See here, this leaf spring is attached to the axle. Here, in this case, this leaf spring is connected from the bottom of the axle. And in this case, leaf spring is connected on the axle, on the upper end of the axle. So obviously, the ground clearance, if we want to reduce, then we prefer the first diagram. And if we want ground clearance more, then we prefer the second diagram. If we see the layout of leaf spring, so in this case, this is the axle, part number 80 is axle. Then this is the leaf spring, eye is provided, this is the shackle. This is the vehicle left side, vehicle right side. So no much difference is there in case of springs. All these springs, leaf springs are connected with the help of this U-bolt to the axle. If we see the types of leaf spring, in some conditions or in some situations, if we want more suspension or more damping or less vibrations, then we prefer elliptical type of mounting. In this elliptical type of mounting, the semi-elliptical type of spring is or two springs are attached to each other, one over the other, and this shape is like an elliptical shape, so it is called as elliptical leaf spring. And semi-elliptical leaf spring we already discussed. This is the semi-elliptical leaf spring which is attached to the frame. Then three-quarter leaf spring. Then next is quarter elliptical leaf spring. This is one more, that is transverse type of arrangement is available. So here leaf spring is mounted like this. That is convex side is on the upper side. If we see the next, that is another types of leaf springs. Then first is conventional leaf spring, second is eye mounted spring, third is taper ended slide spring, fourth is progressive springs, and fifth is trailer spring. If we observe the first type, that is conventional leaf spring, the plates are less in numbers. All is connected with the U joint. Second is case of eye mounted springs. So eye is available on the both sides of the spring. Actually, four eyes are available in this situation in case of eye mounted spring. If we see the taper ended slide spring, so taper is provided at the end of the arrangement. Progressive spring. So in this case, the springs or at the bottom of the spring, some plates are attached. Trailer springs, if we observe the diagram, the plates are more in numbers. Then it is called as trailer spring. Next is double eye leaf spring. So it measures mounting point to mounting point center in the second type, that is major mounting point to furthest inside point. If we observe here, the height of the eye and the plate center point, if we see the height, this height becomes B. This is open eye leaf spring. Next is hook end, flat end, and radius end springs. First type is again sometimes types are there, that is full taper spring. See here, eyes are shown at P and C point. Okay, multi-leaf springs. In case of multi-leaf spring, these are plates are available. So this is E, then this is D, and this is C. All these are connected together by the use of U joint. Then three leaf trailer spring. Okay, leaf trailer springs are also available. Then next type is the E plate and D plate is also available. E plate and D plate is also available. And so if we observe here the connections, the connections is like this. All these plates are connected together with the help of this U type of joint. If we use, if we see the different leaves, that is leaf springs used in different vehicles. If we see the heavy truck springs for Mercedes, Isuzu, or Scania, MAN, Mack, Bedford, these are the company names. And in these companies, different types of arrangements are available. Leaf spring arrangements are available. Then next is, if we consider the trailers are again heavy vehicles. If we consider the arrangement in heavy vehicles, that is small trailer springs for box type trailers, Rubery Owen, Freiter, Hendrickson, etc. If we see these names, then this type of arrangements are available. If we see the construction of leaf springs is used in automobile is of semi-elliptical types. It is built up of number of plates known as leaves, which are reducing in length. The longest leaf is called as the main leaf or master leaf, and another leaves are called as graduated leaves. The spring is clamped to the axle by means of U-bolts. Rebound clips are used to hold the leaves together. Central clamp is used to fix the position of leaf spring to the wheel axles. If we see the characteristics of leaf springs acts as a linkage for holding the axle in position, and the separated linkage are not necessary. It makes the construction of the suspension simple and strong. As the position of axle is carried out by the leaf spring, so it makes it disadvantageous to use soft springs, that is springs with low spring constant. Therefore, this type of suspension does not provide good riding comfort. The interleaf friction between the leaf springs affected the riding comfort. Acceleration and braking torque cause wind up and vibration. Also, wind up causes rear end squat and nose diving. If we see the manufacturing, first take the flat bar, that is shearing of flat bar. Then second step is center hole punching, that is drilling. Drilling operation takes place in second step. Third step is end heating process forming, that is eye forming or wrapper forming. So in that plate, we make that plate circular at the ends, and in this way we create here eyes. Then diamond cutting, end trimming, width cutting, and end tapering operations are done. Then end punching, end grooving, end bending, and forging or eye grinding, all these operations are done on this leaf spring or manufacturing or leaf spring. Center hole punching or drilling or nibbing, these are again another processes. If we see the next step, that is heat treatment. After cutting all these plates and arranging and making the eye bolts, the next step is heat treatment. First step is heating, then chamber forming, then hardening process is there, quenching process is there, and tempering process is there. All these processes are related to metallurgy or material science. Next is surface preparation, short pinning and stress pinning. These are the operations which is done on the surface preparation. Primary painting, this is the another one. Next step becomes eye bush preparation process, eye rimming or eye boring, bush insertion and bush rimming. These are the next operations in manufacturing process. And next step is assemble, presetting and load testing, finish painting, marking and packing. All these are related to manufacturing process. If we see the next standard sizes of leaf spring, if we see the width of the leaf spring, then width is varies from 25 mm to 80 mm in steps of 5 mm. And if we see the thickness of this leaf springs, thickness varies from 2 mm to 8 mm in steps of 1 mm. That is 2 mm, 3 mm, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mm. All these ranges are available. If we consider 10 to 16 millimeter, it steps of 2 mm. And if we see the materials used for leaf spring, the materials used for leaf spring is usually a plain carbon steel having 0.90 to 1.0% carbon. According to Indian standards, the recommended materials are 50 CR1, 50 CR1 V23, 55 SI2, MN90, which is used in hardened and tempered state. So in this way, we finish this materials also. So these are the some topics related to leaf springs. So today we stop here. Thank you.